Aloha Sydzillains! Welcome back to another video. As you can tell from the title, I finally, after a whole year, have another episode of This Night in Stars for you. For number 53, I am going to be reviewing the movie Dora and the Lost City of Gold. So the first thing I want to point out about this movie is that the Dora of the title, yes, it does refer to Dora the children's cartoon. It is the same character, but that does not make this movie a children's movie. The age range of the cartoon is 5 to 7, give or take, but what I read online, this movie is for 13 plus. There are certain themes, actions, events, etc. in the film that I do not think are appropriate for 5-year-olds to be looking at. So this is very much an adult movie. Fans of the show who watched as a kid or whatever can now enjoy this. Also, fun fact, the movie was released to theaters the same day the cartoon aired its series finale. So the basic plot of this movie is that Dora and her parents live in the jungle. Dora's parents are archaeologists, explorers, that kind of thing. They've been looking for the lost Incan city of gold, Patapati, while Dora spends her days playing with Boots the monkey, because of course they had to CGI him in. Now, 10 years later, from the first scene in the film, Dora's parents are finally close to finding that city, so they send her to the States to live with her cousin Diego and attend school while they go out and search for her in the jungle. Now, at first, her parents are sending her regular updates every day about where they are and what they're doing, but then all of a sudden, those communications stop and she's very worried. But she can't do anything about it, so she moves on, and the school she's attending, they go on a field trip to the Natural History Museum. In that museum, long story short, Dora, Diego, and their friends get kidnapped by evil villains and sent to the jungle, where they meet up with Alejandro, and with him, the 5 people have to go find Dora's parents where they are lost in the jungle. The vibes that I mainly get from this film are action, adventure, comedy, like literally laugh out loud tears streaming down in multiple parts, but also a little bit of romance. If you like films similar to Indiana Jones, I would highly recommend this movie. For example, later on in the film, when the friends have actually found the city and entered it, there's lots of arrows flying, different booby traps / puzzles, holes in the ground, and you're born in a pit. It all reminds me a lot of things that Indiana has to go through in his movies. Like, for example, do you remember that one scene in the one film where he has to take the statue and then place the bag of equal weight right there, or it's going to be a whole big disaster? It's not that exact device, but it does give me very similar vibes what they have to go through in this film and what he has to go through in his. So if you've never seen the Dora cartoon even once in your life, you can still watch, understand, and enjoy this film. But if you have seen the cartoon, there are a couple things in this film that will give you great nostalgia. No particular order. In the very opening scene, Diego and Dora are both wearing their iconic outfits from the cartoon. Dora wears hers the entire movie. Diego does not, but at least we see it there once when he's a child. This is the only scene where backpack and map talk. In fact, this is the only scene where map exists, but that's beside the point. Number 3, they use songs a lot throughout the film. The very opening scene has the Dora theme song. The very last scene has a rendition of Loisimo's We Did It. And all throughout the middle of the movie, Dora sings songs about various things here and there. Like, for example, there's one where they're singing about digging the poo hole. That's probably my favorite random song within the movie. Here's me as I edit, popping in to say that for once, I will be putting an official movie clip into the video. You're about to hear the poo song play in full.
It's time to dig the poo hole. Dig, dig, dig. Just grab a shovel, it's a piece of cake. Make sure the hole is deep and there isn't a snake. I'm telling you this so you will be wiser. And don't forget, it's a natural fertilizer.
Number 4, Swiper is a character that exists. They have a fox with a blue mask. That mask does confuse one of the other characters a lot, because she asks why the hell does a fox have to be anonymous? All foxes look the same, and that's not a direct quote, I'm just paraphrasing. And also, as I mentioned, Boots exists as a character, which I absolutely love. He's not wearing boots in the movie, but it's close enough. We have a monkey. The 5th thing for nostalgia would be One time, there's a scene where they touch a flower they're not supposed to, and all the characters hallucinate and turn themselves into an animation. Within that animation, we see Tico, Issa, Benny, the troll, Fiesta Trio, characters like that, even for a split second. And I just really love having the bits of the cartoon in the movie. So I don't know what my favorite scene of the movie would be, because for various reasons I really liked every scene. So I'm just going to give the cliche answer and say that overall my favorite parts were that Dora and her friends were the smartest characters in the film. They knew all the right answers to the Incan puzzles, whereas it's the bad guys who fall into burning pits and get kidnapped by the Incan soldiers. I also loved the evolution of the characters, where in the beginning of the film there's a girl who's kind of mean and hates everyone. She's only there in the film because she's forced to be. But by the end of the film, she actually genuinely is Dora's friend and hangs out with her on purpose because she wants to. I don't entirely know what else I want to say for this review, so I'm going to make it a bit of a shorter video and stop there, move on to my rating. I officially give this movie 8, maybe even 8.5 out of 10. I had assumed that it would be good, especially because I loved the cartoon as a child, but it blew my expectations out of the water. It was so much better than I thought. A couple of parts were predictable, but the bigger plot twists were not predictable at all, and they shocked me so much. The whole thing was more funny than I expected, and overall, I just loved every little thing about it. So if this type of movie sounds like something you would enjoy, I highly, highly recommend that you check it out, whether it's alone, with friends, a family movie if you have older kids, whatever the situation. I just highly recommend you check out this movie, because it is nothing like the cartoon, in case that's what you were thinking. That concludes this brief review for the movie Dora, Lost City of Gold. If you enjoyed it, please drop a big like down below. Comment what you thought of the movie if you have already seen it. And while you're down there, you can also hit subscribe if you haven't already to not miss any of my future content. Check me out on social media, always linked in the description. And aloha till next time!